What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the RabidMining YouTube channel. And today we are checking out the EVERGREEN Miner. So this is for all you Chia people out there. So what is Chia? Chia is a proof of space blockchain, and essentially it's hard drive mining. Yes, you can mine crypto with pretty much anything. In this case, we're going with hard drives. This is some unboxing stuff here. We'll go through all this stuff in a minute, and you guys may be wondering what the heck I got going on over here. So on the website for the EVERGREEN Miner, on this starter kit, it dictates it only uses 15 watts. So we have a hard drive up top here and a Raspberry Pi on the bottom. The Raspberry Pi kind of acts as the brains of the system. It's your little mini PC, and then the hard drive does do the farming process. So 15 watts total. You need a separate power plug for each one. So I have two separate watt meters here, and on top of that, they are running to this main watt meter box right here. And right now, just with those two watt meters on there, we're using 0.4 to 0.5 watts. So we are going to have to subtract that from our total wattage later on in this video when we do look at this. But we're going to be testing the power consumption because I am curious myself, how much power does Chia farming actually use? Because I don't really have any idea, because it's too hard to measure that in a PC format. So this will give us a pretty good idea on what it does draw in terms of power. So we're going to start with what this comes with initially. We're just going to turn this thing around just to kind of show you the back plugs here. So obviously we got a green Ethernet cable. This comes in the box, and we got this little USB link cable here, and this pretty much tells the Raspberry Pi here and links it to your hard drive up top. And then here you can see the little circle here. That is your power intake. It is easy not to mix these up because look at that, they have separate plugs. This power adapter is obviously for your Raspberry Pi down in this corner, and then your hard drives are those barrel plugs like we see right here. So, you know, just out of the box, you don't really need to be any tech savvy or anything. It does not come with any instructions. You are going to have to go to evergreen.com in order to get all your setup instructions throughout their website. But initially, just looking at everything, it's pretty much like putting the square in the square and the triangle in the triangle when you're in kindergarten. Everything is pretty self-explanatory, and you can't really mess this thing up. So I took the hard drive one off the top of this Raspberry Pi, and you can see on the bottom, same thing for both of these actually. You can go any way you want. I would probably keep the Raspberry Pi on the bottom or to the side because these are a lot heavier than, you know, the simple PC part here, and maybe it will begin squishing it depending how many you want to stack. But you can tell the bottom based on these pads, and it's fairly easy. There's no grooves here. You kind of have a little rough edge, but you can't really see any indentations. But when you put this actually on top of it, it's fairly easy to tell you're in place. It almost feels like it does lock in. Now, at first I thought maybe there's a magnet or something in here, but there's not, because obviously that's bad for hard drives and PC components. So there's no magnets or nothing in here, but you can simply tell it's in there, it's in place, it's sturdy, it's good to go. So, you know, it does stack very, very nice, but again, depending on how many you do plan on getting, you can get expansions for these and everything. You don't need to build a big PC like we used to have to do with Chia by then plotting all these hard drives out and then going from there. These are simply plug and play, ready to roll right out of the box. So let's get into this. I do want to point out as well, at any time you just can't get enough of Chia and you do got to purchase yourself some of these EVERGREEN miners, you can use coupon code RABID and get 5% off your order. So keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so I do have everything set up right now. Obviously plugged in, not set up to get it farming or anything yet, but everything's plugged in. And for those of you that need to see how things go, then this is for you. We do have the Ethernet cable coming into the Ethernet plug. We do have this little plug here moving up and coming into the back of the hard drive. Remember, only one end will fit right here. We got the barrel plug for the power for the hard drive, which is running into its power adapter. And then we got the power adapter, which is like a USB-C or a mini USB-C here, coming in for the Raspberry Pi itself. As for power consumptions, we are hanging out at about 13.9 to 13.1 watts, so we're doing good, but we're not farming or anything yet. I did see this spike upwards of 30 watts on the initial boot, but that's to be expected. So we won't check out any power consumptions until this is fully farming and up and running, because it'll be really inaccurate during all these booting processes. So we're all set up here. Now we got to run in, download the app to our phone, and complete the setup process on this Evergreen miner. Oh, and we also have a nice little blue light right here. Now through the camera, it's almost looking like a whitish light. So it's supposed to be blue. It's blue without the camera, so I'm not sure how it's actually recording. Okay, so now we are within the Evergreen app, and we got to set up our account and everything to get this thing finally set up. So I'm just going to simply click on Set Up Account. We're going to sign up, and then I'm going to enter all my information, and we'll come back in a little bit here. Okay, so I made my account. I did get a confirmation email, had a code, put that in, you know, just like any standard type of setup. So now we need to set up our wallet and set up our device here. So I'm going to simply click on set up your wallet. Now you can create a new wallet. So if you've never mined Chia or anything before, don't have a wallet, you would just hit that. But I already do have a Chia wallet, and I have some hard drives within my server mining to FLUX pool. So I'm going to click, I already have a wallet. And now we got to set up a passphrase or use PIN. So protect your keys, add an extra layer of security to keep your crypto safe. So I don't want to show you the next few steps here because obviously privacy issues. So I will let you know what I went through and what I did, but I'm going to do this part off camera. All right, so I entered my seed phrase from my normal node that I usually been running in Chia, and it says your keychain has been created. And up top, we can see 1.052 Chia coins. So I'm going to hit the X here. Complete wallet setup, all done. Now we got to set up our device and complete your order. Now, please configure and set up Evergreen for farming. So complete your order. For a second, I was like, okay, I got to buy something. But now we're going to simply hit set up your device. Now, allow Evergreen Mobile to access this device location. I don't like to do that. I'm going to hit approximate and don't allow. I don't see why it needs to know where I am. And it looks like I have to put something because it will not let me go through. All right, so I'm going to hit setup again once it's done thinking here. Now it's broken. All right, guys, I just destroyed the Evergreen app. It no longer works for me. I'm just kidding. Let's just see. Setup, no. Setup, no. Coins, NFTs, back. Setup. All right, so I'm going to relaunch the app and see what happens here. I still wasn't able to connect. As you can see, when I hit set up your device, nothing happens in this case. So I did go to their website, and you're not supposed to do this unless you're running on Wi-Fi, but I figured, hey, why not? So I connected through Wi-Fi. It has the password and everything needed to connect to this through your device. And now I hit settings here. I'm going to manage Evergreen and now add new device. And it says connecting. Would you like to set up this? Yes, I would like to. Add new device, model name, so we can see everything we have at this point. So configure. I'm going to hit the configure here. Network settings, farmer configuration, running services. So farmer configuration could not connect to device, so that's bad. Network settings, SSID, IP, add Wi-Fi, all this stuff going on here. And running services, we got OS manager, farmer, device manager, all sorts of stuff. So what's in device manager? Healthy, drive temperature, 31. Oh, nice. Awesome. So we can see all the stuff here, but I'm just going to hit add new device now and see what happens. So it's looking for devices again. So is it going to find the same one or something else at this point? Connecting. Connect EVG. Your Evergreen was not automatically found. Please connect EVG to Wi-Fi in your Wi-Fi settings. So I'm already connected to this one up here. So I don't know what's going on at this point. I guess if I delete that, are you sure you want to delete this Evergreen's info from your phone? I probably don't want to do that yet. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to play around with the configure button here and see what's going on. It should say I just need to claim the device via the app, click the action, set up account, and so on. So EVGA farmer. So let's just see here. Farmer configuration, running services. Farmer can't find it. Network settings, still can't find it. Okay, we got this. So where would I find this point here? Farmer configuration. Manage Evergreen, configure, farmer configuration. Oh, wait, here we go. We got some. We're into something. I guess I was hitting the wrong thing. So click the action, set up account. Click the action, claim devices. I don't see Launcher ID, copied to clipboard, payout address, farmer secret key, worker name. Yeah, that's not what I need here. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to play around with this operation a little bit, guys. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what I did. I pretty much just went back to the wallet here, home, and it had all the X's in the front. It said I did everything. So I just clicked all those and everything was gone. I went back into my home here and we can now see that we are evergreen farming at FlexPool. I go into my settings here, manage evergreen, go into configuration, farmer configuration. Everything did pop in as it should. I'm just going to come back now and I think that's it. So that's weird. So I click on here. That's all my transactions. Go back to home here. And then I can actually click on FlexPool to bring that up. It has my total assets and everything. I didn't set the pool or anything by myself. So I don't know. Actually cancel that. I now have 2 workers online at FlexPool. So I just got detected within FlexPool itself. So that's very interesting here. Evergreen version 1. Yeah, so I am detected at the pool. I am up and legitly mining now. So it's going to take some time for the hash rate and everything. Or I guess we're not hash rate here. We're farming Chia through hard drives. So whatever they call that is going to, our current space. We got to wait for our space to update to get actual earnings. But I am earning about 13.6 cents or so, 13.69 in the app here. It says 14. So I'm going to give it, a day or so, see what happens, and we'll come back to test some profitability. And in theory, this should just double what I'm currently at right now because we just added another 12 terabytes through this starter kit. So yeah, we seem to be up and mining through this evergreen Chia miner. And you know what? It's looking pretty handy right now. Okay, guys, so we are now up and mining Chia with the evergreen miner. And this light went from blue to a bright green. So that must mean we are activated. So let's check out power consumption. So right now we're coming down to the watt meter here. It looks like about 12.2 to 13, low 13 watts. So 12 to 13 watts, which is under the 15 watt estimate. So, that's good to know. We're actually using a little bit more. We're only utilizing like 13 to possibly 15 watts with the odd spike as I pulled away there. Now, how much is each device using? So let's start with the hard drive, which is right here. So here is the hard drive in this hodgepodge. And it is using 8.3 watts. So the hard drive is 8 to 8.3 watts. And then the other one is obviously our little Raspberry Pi Ardilio, and it is using about 4 watts. So we have 8 and 4 watts. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, about 12 watts, which brings us into here where it's now around, the 12 watt mark. So there we go. We're under 15 watts mining Chia with 12 terabytes. Now you can get expansions packs, which I kind of showed you a little bit earlier as I flipped through those screens fast. But you can just keep stacking these things up, plugging them in. There's more adapters with come out and you can, plug in like 5 at a time or something like that. So, very easy setup process here. You don't need the plot. It's pretty much plug and play, set up the app and good to go. So I know I'm curious about how the profitability and stuff is. Obviously we're in a bear market and it's Chia. A lot of people kind of are off Chia now. They don't really like it like they used to. The price came down from like $2,000 down to like $30 or $40, whatever it is now in Canadian prices. But, as that network and people leave, that is like a difficulty dropping down. And now, the profitability may be picking up for us. And who knows what the future holds for Chia? What if it spikes to that $2,000 mark again? That would be insane. I'm sure a lot of people out there would absolutely love for that to happen. But when it comes down to Chia mining right now, it probably is more profitable than a GPU. It's not very hard to be profitable, more profitable than GPUs these days, ever since Ethereum has ended. But awesome. So I'm going to let this sit for a little while and we will take a look at that profitability and stuff. All right, guys. So it has been a little over 24 hours and we do have a full day's worth of average hash rates. And as we confirmed here, we did double our earnings from a little over 13 cents to a little over 26 cents here. Still got 2 workers online, and this is whatever our proof of space operation we got going on. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but I better point this out. In order for this worker to show up, what I did do was take this address and I actually emailed it to myself and then put that within the app as my payout address. That way it did show us, because it probably was mining to Flexible when I was first trying to show you how to set this up. It's just that it was using a different address, so the worker wouldn't really pop up for me. So that may be one of the issues as well. You know, you can have multiple Chia wallets when you restore from seed, but they all usually have a different address, but they all do go to that same wallet. So I'm just used the same wallet here and entered that into my payout address within the Evergreen app there. All right, so now that we got all that out of the way with the hash rates and everything, or proof of spacing type of stuff, let's take a look at our actual profitability. And I am pretty surprised here. So if we actually we look at the Evergreen miners, we found it was pretty accurate when it did come to power consumption here. So I'm just basing it off, and we did see, you know, our hard drive was not using that much power. If you were to expand to 16 to 18 terabytes here, you're only using about 6 watts. I got 2 hard drives within my PC. I'm just going to go 6 watts a piece. So that's another 12 watts. So 13 and that. We're using about 25 watts total in terms of power, mining this at about 22 terabytes. For 24 hours, 11 cents per kilowatt hour USD, which is what I do pay for power. That's 6.6 cents power. 6.6 cents. We come back into here, we're making 26.6 cents. We are 20 cents profit after power. You're probably thinking, okay, that's not that much, whatever, big deal, woohoo. But look at GPUs, guys. Look at a 3070. Now, Caspa currently right now at this latest pump, it is making 3 cents here after power, 31 cents before power. But we start scrolling down here, we're making 20 cents after power, and what was it here? And 26 before power. So we're coming back into here. Look at most of these coins. Chia with just 22 terabytes is more profitable. There are a few that are more, but if you had free power, Chia is more profitable than a 3070 on most of these coins. Like look at NiceHash Ethash here, 16 cents before power. Free power, guys. Furo, 20 cents. You're making more. You're on par now after power with Chia. So how about Flux? Flux is at 26, which is about what you're making before power, but actually, so yeah, Flux here is even tied if you had free power GPU mining on a 3070. Now, as for price, you know, it does come in around $500-600 for this Evergreen, but you can get your own hard drives. It'll come in at about 320 USD if you were to pick up, you know, for these 6 terabytes for about $89.99, $90 a piece, regardless. And a 3070, I don't know how accurate Best Buy is. I'm at the .com site. Maybe these are like third-party sellers. I don't believe these are worth this much anymore, but maybe they are. But looking at Best Buy, $579 for a 3070, that's insane. $549. It's almost cheaper to get 22 terabytes worth of hard drives. Do it through your gaming PC, or like I said, the Evergreen miners here, all in one, ready to go, pretty much plug and play. Costs a little bit extra, but definitely worth it in my books, especially if you are big on Chia. Now, a lot of people are falling off of Chia, kind of like people are falling off of Helium, but there's still a lot of supporters out there. So this is profitable to mine, and more so than a 3070. It's pretty insane to think about Chia mining and profitability when it does come to crypto mining, especially right now. Now, this isn't bull run type of numbers here, but what if Chia does pump again? That'd be insane. Will it pump again? I have no idea, but I'm actually tempted to maybe get more drives because I do have my GPUs off. It is not profitable for me to mine with my GPUs, but it is to do so with Chia. All right, guys, so there is the Evergreen miner in a nutshell. And yeah, this thing is very easy to use, plug and play. And if you're into Chia, you know, I would actually recommend this. Now, if you're not into Chia, I'm sure it's going to get a lot of hate. Oh, Chia this, Chia that, blah, blah, blah. You can't argue the fact that this is actually more profitable than most of your GPUs out there. So, you know, that stands currently in this bear market without Ethereum. Let's just do one last look at the power here so we can see we're utilizing about 12.7 watts. It peaked at 14 there for a second, but we're hanging around the 12 watt range. We're going to have a look at the hard drive here. So what's this? A little flashy here. 4.7. So we're actually using less than 6 watts, 3.7 to 4.7. So we're using even less power than originally predicted in terms of just the hard drive alone. And then we got a Raspberry Pi side here. Let's have a look at this. See what it's showing us. 8.1. So yes, the PC part component is obviously using the most, and the hard drives, they don't use very much power whatsoever when it does come to this. All right, guys, so thank you very much for checking out this video. The EVERGREEN Miner, it is here, it is live, and you know, it's very easy to use and it's profitable. What else more could you want? Could it pump? Who knows? Will it dump? Who knows? No idea what the future holds for us, but this is at least profitable right now. And remember, coupon code RABID will grant you 5% off your total order, and this thing does not want to focus. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.